The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh, got my hustle on, no imitation or fad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heartthrob in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Welcome to this Earnestly Speaking podcast. I'm your host, Ernest E.J. Christian, on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon here on Thanksgiving week. It is the Thanksgiving week version of the Student Game Report. Of course, every week we check in with our man, Kyle F. and Nash, who's actually coming live from New Orleans. Kyle, New Orleans, huh?
Yeah, man, exactly. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, EJ, and I got to tell you, I am thankful that you are modest enough to have me on your show every week to set you straight, baby. It's a good time.
You know, backhanded compliments, it's acceptable on this show. Believe me, it is. I'll take it when I can. Oh wait, I just dropped my power rankings. My power 10 bottom 5 on social media today, and you, of course, you're the first one to respond because you always have an issue with something I do. The Bears,
you know, but I gotta give you credit. Listen, and I gotta be fair to you. Like, I'll pick out, like, especially the past 3 weeks. 2 out of the past 3 weeks, I was actually like, you know, bing, good job. There's always one team you have just completely off center. And today you evoked in me the song by Afro Man, Because I Got High, because your dumbass as the Bears of 6. I mean, hey, at least you're not out there like GWS, TWLIO trying to tell me that Trubisky's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. Okay?
He's got to
at
stop
least
that.
It's not that bad. Yeah, he really does.
I mean, I know he's excited. The Bears are good. They're all on first place in the NFC North, but let's stop.
Yeah, the Bears are leading a race that's to be the sacrificial lambs in round 1. Basically, they're auditioning to be the guy in the cage in the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where like Mola Ram is going to rip his heart out at any moment. So that's basically what the Bears are.
Well, I don't know.
They're auditioning to be
I don't know.
that guy.
I mean, right now, if they would have made playoffs right now, they would probably play the Seahawks, maybe. I think, or the Vikings again. Or the Vikings again.
Watch.
Maybe the Vikings again? I don't know.
How awesome. Wait, no. Screw the Vikings. Let's go back to Seahawks versus Bears. Can we talk about a slugfest? I would love to watch that football game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. Lot more football we played, but I am impressed. But let's go. Let's talk about last night's game. Rams Chiefs classic. And why I'm a fucking moron. I took the under in this game like an idiot. Did you see my poll I put out today? What was EJ's dumbest decision to make this week in gambling wise? Taking the Eagles plus 8.5 against New Orleans, who got trounced. Which, by the way, the rest of America did the same thing too. So fuck you also. Or was it me saying, "Well, gee, that's a pretty high number, and maybe Vegas knows something I don't know, and I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna fade the public here and go take the under." And not only did my number look ridiculous on the under, that every score in the second half of the game made my pick look more and more dumb. 106 points total?
Something like that.
I lost count. They almost doubled the over-under, dude. That's insane.
So let's be clear. The number of the 2 picks was by far the under. Yeah, that was. I mean, you know, whenever there's a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes that's playing against a team with starting corners that are hurt, you should expect them to score around 63 points.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't college football, but you see what I'm getting at.
Well, the Rams won last night, 54-51. This is my takeaway, really. And first of all, I mean, anybody that knows football will tell you this game really in a small vacuum meant more to the Rams than it did to the Chiefs, because the Chiefs already got the 2-game gap they needed over New England. for the number 1 seed last week. So they had the insurance game ready. The Rams, by virtue of losing to the Saints 2 weeks ago, needed to make sure, or 3 weeks ago rather, needed to make sure they stayed pace with the Saints. And they did that.
Right.
That being said, Kyle, I come out this game the same way it came out against the same way it came out with the Patriots-Chiefs game. I feel more and more better about the Chiefs' chance to win the AFC now, even more. Both those games, both losses by 3 points. I feel better about the Chiefs winning the AFC now than I didn't even come into the game.
Well, I hear that, and here's the reason why I don't measure that sentiment precisely, okay? When it comes to the Patriots, you know it's Brady, you know what you have going on there, and that was going to be a shootout going into it. This isn't Tom Brady that sliced you up. This is Jared Goff. Now, I'm willing to grant this is a far more balanced offense than the Patriots are, and it's not close in the form of the Rams. But that's a no for me, dog. That doesn't get me excited. That is a picture of how stinking awful bad the Chiefs are. And what is it they say, EJ? Defense wins championships. Defense, they win.
I'm with you. Let me throw some numbers real quick. Some numbers. This is why I feel good about this. The Chiefs had five turnovers last night. Okay? Gave up 21 points off those turnovers. Also being underlined in this whole thing, they committed 13 penalties last night. Yet, they lose by 3 points and had a lead late in this game? That's an
impressive. Listen, that's an anomaly. As somebody who's taken many classes of statistics in his days in school, that is an anomaly. That should not happen.
Right.
Of course, when you turn the ball over 5 times, you normally lose games, but you don't lose them close, and that's a worthwhile point out by you. I see why you are uplifted by that fact that they were still able to keep it close despite that. It says something. What that also tells me, it's the Chiefs being the Chiefs and continuing to shoot themselves in the foot in a big game in general. Not even postseason, mind you, just a big game. And that actually, for me, means they have the mentality to do that again in the postseason. I hear what you're saying, but it's still the exact extent as to why I'm worried about them after this game. It's something where you need perfection to win playoff games, and turning the ball over 5 times with 13 penalties ain't going to do it.
Right.
The way to win that game is to not do that, not to recover from that.
That being said, the big part of what I said there also was AFC.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Correct.
the teams that can beat the Chiefs in this are only in the NFC. I don't think the Pats can go blow at Arrowhead with this Chiefs team the same way they did back in October. I don't think the Steelers can do the same thing also too in Arrowhead as well. Like, yeah, the Chiefs have their issues. They haven't won a home game in the playoffs since 1993. We know all that. But none of those teams also had Patrick Mahomes. Okay, this is a totally different situation now with a different quarterback who can change the entire dynamic of this whole thing. Yeah, this is not Alex Smith. Okay, let's be real here. I mean, this is night and day, and I'm not knocking Alex Smith. By the way, God bless him, on his recovery.
Yeah,
seriously.
And we'll say this: we'll agree on this that we both think Alex Smith is a good enough quarterback to now that the skin season is virtually over.
Right.
Period.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll get into the NFC East stuff in a second. But I don't think any of the teams in the AFC, so long as you're playing football at Arrowhead, can go blow with the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I don't think the Steelers can do it. I don't think the Pats are good enough to do it anymore.
That is a compelling caveat by you, Julius Christian.
Yes.
I'm going to roll with that.
Yeah. That being said, I feel good about the Chiefs, the Rams. That's a huge win. They stay pace in New Orleans. That being said, segue to the next topic here. And I tend to agree with the public here, at least in the short term. Is Drew Brees now the front runner for MVP? Because Pat Mahomes has been the number one guy, I would say, publicly for the last. I mean, Vegas has the number one guy up until going to week 11. But Mahomes, I'm not saying Mahomes had a bad game, but he had 3 turnovers and he had costly turnovers in the game. Is Drew Brees now, in your opinion, the front runner for MVP right now?
No, he's not, because he has Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara and a pretty good offensive line. Let me ask you some questions, Ernest Christian. Who does Andrew Luck have? Obviously, T.Y. Hilton. Let's not be stupid. Mm-hmm. Who's running the football for them? I don't know. And who's their offensive line?
So glad you said that, because the very next thing on the list of things to talk about here is the launch today of Andrew Luck's MVP campaign. And I listed right there under this topic, because, and I'm glad you said that, because It's not being talked about enough because of the record, obviously. But what did I say? And you and I both agreed on this. I think you and I agreed almost fully on this. And I said last week that the winner of this Tennessee-Indianapolis game is getting that 6th seed in the AFC wildcard race.
You did say that last week. That was all you, and I jumped on that bandwagon when you cracked the whip upon the horse to head that wagon train, and I will give you all in the credit for the world because you were correct on that, and I also agreed that game was a de facto the price for that was a de facto front runner for the final wild card spot in the AFC. Mm-hmm. And boy, did the Titans not show up for that game. So yeah, no, you were 100% correct.
By the way, this is a Titans team that just beat New England the way they did.
That's probably why it happened, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I took Indy -2, but I'm thinking it'd be a lot closer than what we saw there. I mean, granted, you lose Mariota, but still, it wouldn't matter. Mariota being hurt there wouldn't matter, to be honest with you. Let's be real.
It's more like Marinota. And also, by the way, Russell Wilson is still ahead of Drew Brees in the race. Deal with it. Really?
It's interesting. No one has mentioned Russell Wilson in this conversation at all.
Yeah, no, they haven't, because they're dumb. Just like last year when they didn't give him the award. Just like you did, because you're dumb.
No, well, last year I had him in the conversation at least, though.
Yes, you did. No, I just wanted to take that shot at you. I didn't even call him Rusty Chamomile Wilson this time.
Well, I mean, there are many people. There are many people right now. Many players in the league right now. You can make cases for it now. Obviously, Mahomes. We can look at Brees. Obviously, Brady.
No, you can't. Okay, wait. No, we got to stop.
Okay, so
you cannot make a case for Mahomes. He's just the guy that's being handed the platter upon which to feast. Okay, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt. Really?
But
stop it.
But the reason why I say this, Kyle, is this: there was no resume on Mahomes coming to the year. We all was saying, well, Kansas City, I don't know. Is he going to be good this year? Is Mahomes any good? We have one game sample, and he's overshot. He's outkicked his coverage already. I mean, he's doing.
Oh, absolutely. He's putting stats up left, right, and the other place, and there's a reward reserved for guys like that. It's called the Offensive Player of the Year. It is not the MVP. Next question.
Okay, so that being said, right now, concoct a top 3 list right now, MVP right now in order. Who would it be?
My top MVPs: Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson. I would flirt with Todd Gurley ahead of Mahomes, but I'm not that cocky, so I'm going to put Mahomes and then Gurley with a Brees Rodgers tie at 5.
Rodgers still?
Sure.
Look, I'm not hating on Rodgers. You know me, I love Aaron Rodgers. Baddest man on the planet. I'm just saying.
It's at 5. What the bleep do you want, kid? I mean, just honestly, if there was a preseason poll for MVP every year, would not Aaron Rodgers be number 1 regularly?
He'd be definitely awesome favorite. And by the way, I'm with you also. I think one thing you might agree on, Tom Brady has kind of slipped last couple of weeks. I think Tom Brady is being a little overvalued in that conversation. A little bit. Just a bit.
Well, I mean, putting him at 5 is tied for 5th, I should say. It is an overvaluing, if you want to say so. But, I mean, at the end of the day...
Well, if you're mentioning Russell Wilson conversation now, I guess it would be overvalued. I mean, you have guys on the list now that no one's talking about. Now, I mean, you and G discussed this 2 weeks ago on the show, and about Vegas's odds and the players they had. Neither Russell Wilson or Andrew Luck were on that list. We can agree, at least from you and I right now, that Andrew Luck has to be at least be in the conversation now.
Absolutely.
And today, his MVP campaign has been launched on Earnestly podcast.
That's correct.
Okay? Because,
by way of...
Go ahead.
Listen, if you are the governor of the state of Andrew Luck's MVP, I am your lieutenant governor, man. That's all I'm saying.
I agree 100%. I mean, remember we were when the year started. And this is one of the most underselling stories of the year. How good would this guy be? You know? And even when they were like 1-5, we think, okay, well, the 1-5, they're terrible, but he's playing very well. Look at his numbers, dude. He has been sacked at what? What was the number they said? He's been sacked at 100-something plays, 200-something plays? It's insane.
Now you want to talk about losing count. I'm just...
Yeah. That's insane. Even today's NFL, it's insane. You know? So, I don't know. He has to be in a conversation now. He's definitely comeback player of the year. The only other guy I can consider is Adrian Peterson. That's it.
Deshaun Watson deserves a look.
A look, yeah. A little look-see. Yeah, a little look-see.
I would damn sure put him ahead of Peterson, unless
Really? Okay.
somehow or another the Skins make the playoffs without Alex Smith.
Well, they're gonna need AP now. That's the rest of the year. AP's gonna be their workhorse.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Show me something, old man.
Yeah, but
You know, beat defenses like you beat your son. Wait, what?
ooh, man, ooh.
I was a little frigid. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Some things don't die hard. Some things just don't die hard.
Yeah, like, you know, Kobe Bryant accepting an Academy Award during the Me Too movement. Anyways.
Oh, moving on. Oh boy,
Do you like that one, basketball man?
bro, you're gonna piss off a bunch of Laker fans in this podcast. Believe me.
They cry about everything anyway. Come at me, yellow bellies. At BSOTG on Twitter. Bring it.
Well, they spanked my ass. They beat my ass on Sunday though. Whatever. I can't say shit. But Andrew Luck. I mean, we could
wait,
agree.
the Magic actually beat them. Go Lakers. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. No, Andrew Luck it's just a comeback player of the year. It's not even close. Not even close. It's Andrew Luck. But MVP. I mean, he has to be top 5 now, right? He's got to be. He's top 5. He's got to be top 5. I mean, in everybody's hearts. I mean,
I have him at number 1, and if the press doesn't have him at least 2, they're doing it wrong.
I agree with 100%. I agree. All right, so a lot of things are happening in the sport. A lot of things happening. I was going to take some of these topics with these teams, NFC East, into singular topics, but why bother? All three.
Yeah,
and
so I'm trying my best to pay attention because I'm still kind of tired from being, you know, at college game day in the morning on Saturday and then covering UCF's victory over Cincinnati. It was a long day for me, so it was pretty awesome.
Your hair's
actually.
in place. I saw you on Instagram. Your hair's in place.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, but listen, man, Lee Corso is a damn fireball. I don't care who you are. Guy. And by the way, all you UCF fans who are going after Curb Street, here's a tip for you. The biggest UCF hater on that panel is not Herb Street. It's Desmond Howard. Moving on.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Ooh, the Heisman Trophy winner, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
no disrespect to him as an analyst or a player. I'm just telling you, the one on the panel that's most anti-UCF is, in fact, Desmond Howard.
Let's sidebar to UCF talk. I want to talk about that a little bit too. I mean, tonight's the rankings. I want to see where that goes. But the NFC East, like I said, you can take all 4 teams and sidebar and singular topics here. But we'll throw them all into one little conundrum here because it is a conundrum. The NFC East has got more confusing now because now Alex Smith out, the division leading Redskins, Alex Smith out for the year, with a broken leg, broken fibula, tibia, all that. Everything is now gone haywire. You can't write off the Cowboys yet anymore, obviously, the way they've been playing. And even though the Eagles are falling apart currently, you can't write them off either because, Alex Smith is gone, and that opens everything. And even the Giants now, 1-2 in a row. They're only 3 back in first place. They're 2 back in the Cowboys, and they play again later in the year. The schedule gets a little easier.
DJ?
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I already called, dude, Kyle, my brother's a dire Giants fan who called me about 3 hours ago, trying to discuss ways that the Giants won the table. I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. It's like, we'll play Chicago. Yeah, Chicago.
Chicago will fucking end you.
Exactly.
Oops, you happy I gave you an F-bomb on your show, okay?
Oh, he's like, well, look
they
at these
will
games.
end you. Keep in mind, I opened the show talking about how many drugs you were on and how responsible you need to be because you have 2 kids and you shouldn't be having so many drugs in your system to put the Bears at 6. The Bears will kill the Giants. Like, literally, Eli. I hope Eli has his active directive set up in case he's incapacitated in this football game, okay?
Let's start here first. There's a lot to unpack to the NFC East. Let's start here first. Optics-wise, going into this week, it's clear to say, and it's safe to say, that the Cowboys, it's all set for the Cowboys to win this whole thing. You have the Skins getting hurt left and right. Even before Alex Smith got hurt, they were falling apart on injuries. Eagles falling apart. The Giants suck, obviously. To me, this is the way I see it. Cowboys win the division. Jason Garrett's done. Gotta be done. This is all set for the Cowboys to win the whole thing.
Well, and let me introduce something else into the equation you haven't accounted for. Dak is an underdog once again. And we've seen, so far at least, that he performs best when he's questioned.
Well, he was an underdog until 2:30 p.m. on Sunday.
Well, he kind of won that game Tom Brady style with the help of the kicker. Let's not go crazy.
No, but I'm saying is that the whole optics is a division, everything falling apart and falling in line for the Eagles to win, for the Cowboys to win this whole thing.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what's going on with the Eagles, man. That was. I mean, listen, I know the Saints are good, but Christ, that kind of beating. I'm surprised. Somebody from Child Services didn't show up.
Yeah. But Dallas should win this division, right? Not a problem.
I'm not going to call it a lock, but at this point, I am prepared to be completely wrong about the Eagles. That's where I'll put it.
Yeah, and that says a lot more about the trust of the Cowboys, because, like, they've won, it's funny, that Tennessee loss 2 weeks ago was so bad, and yet in the last 2 weeks on the road, they wiped away that loss pretty easily. Winning in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Winning in Atlanta. Against two teams that, while aren't really playoff teams, two teams that were playoff teams last year that are struggling this year, it's still decent teams that you win on the road. That's still pretty good wins.
Well, no, that's absolutely right, and that's an instance where we're trying to make that happen. I mean, I should say we're trying to make that happen, but yeah, the Cowboys are doing things that we didn't expect them to do at this point in the season. Period.
Yeah. What's wrong with the Eagles, man?
So in your case, it was weed. In their case, apparently they had a lot to drink, and this hangover is huge. Somebody, listen, if they're playing the Seahawks soon, what they need to do in Seattle is make sure they get a bunch of coffee and caffeinate to get over the hangover.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Carson Wentz had one of his worst games of his career on Sunday. I want to say it was more the Saints, because they did the same thing last week to Cincinnati on the road.
Absolutely. Yeah, that can't be discounted. That offense is great, let's be clear. That defense, nobody knows what happened to them other than a number of key injuries.
And yet, look, if you're talking about Super Bowl contenders, they're off the list. That's not even a conversation. I can't put them to sleep as the NFC East champs, because I still think with this Redskins injuries, Alex Smith, all that, the door is still open for them for the taking. 8-8 might very well be enough to win this division.
Yes.
Which now leads me to the New York Football Giants, who are now 3-7, who have now won 2 in a row out of nowhere. Okay?
Listen. EJ, tell your boys to stop with this hope crap, because 2 things are going to happen. A, it's going to lead to me telling you were crazy the whole time on this podcast again, and B, it's going to hurt your draft pick. So stop it.
Well, let's do the thing that you don't want me to do. We're going to do it anyway. Let's go through the schedule for the Giants.
Oh, God.
Let's do it. I'm such a dick.
You're doing it to yourself.
Let's be realistic here. Giants are going to Philadelphia this week. Okay, Philadelphia's falling apart.
Right.
I mean, would you pick the Giants win that game? I mean,
no.
Neither would I. But let's say they win. Let's say optics-wise, they win that game. They're 4-7. Okay. They go home to Chicago the week after.
No.
Okay. That's the one. Okay. That's the one. Next game here, the Redskins at Washington.
The Redskins may happen if that defensive front can cause some problems in that backfield and hold down AP. You have a shot.
Okay. Then home against Tennessee.
God, that could go either way, bro. You know what? I'm going to say for this stretch of 4 games, you go 2-2. Keep going.
At Indy. No.
Nope.
Dallas at home.
Oh, God. You know what? I'll be an optimist and say in that stretch, you go 3-3.
3-3. Shit. That puts at what? 6-10? Shit.
I tried to warn you, partner.
Well, they got a couple of... No, they're not going to do it. But I'm just saying, it's not far out of the realm possibility that they can win a couple... Because
the best I can do is give you a Jim Carrey. So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes, there's a chance.
Okay, that's what you get.
You know, it's funny. If the Giants somehow get within a game or two by the end of the year, all my bullshit about mathematically being in it as a joke last couple weeks on the podcast with you and G don't sound so dumb anymore. I'll tell you that much. It don't sound so dumb anymore, does it? But no, it's a hard trek. That's why that Carolina game sucks, because the Carolina game, when they lost on the field goal, 63 yards, 2 years in a row, it sucks. Because you get that game back,
that was
then
insane.
you can say, okay, maybe you can work something out here. That being said, people are already writing off the Redskins. Everybody's doing that. No one's giving them a chance. But if we're saying 8-8 is going to be enough to win the division, could we find 2 wins in Washington with Colt McCoy quarterback? Is it possible they can find 2 wins? They are still in the driver's seat.
It's not that I don't have faith in Colt McCoy, but I don't really have enough faith in Colt McCoy.
I will say.
Listen. Okay, so they might beat the Giants. That's a thing. We know that'll be a close game. But does that guarantee a win over the Eagles? Not in my eyes.
Let me say
does
this
that guarantee a win?
Let me say this much to you. Here's one thing I will say that's going for them right now. The rest of the teams on their schedule, none of them are over 500. None. The next 3 games.
That helps, obviously.
Here's the next 3 games. And we'll know right off the bat how they're going to do. Because the next 3 weeks are all divisional games. Dallas on Thursday, Thanksgiving. Philly the week after that. And actually, they get 11 days off because they play that game Monday Night Football after playing on Thanksgiving. Philly on the road. Philly could be just dead and buried by that time. Who knows? Who knows?
I'll tell you this. Against the Cowboys, I don't like Colt McCoy at all. That defense is fantastic.
No, right.
In Dallas, it's probably the best defense they've had in a long time, and I don't think he makes it out of that game. I'm just saying.
No, I'm giving you Dallas win that game. But the rest of the team...
carry on.
Right. But Philly could be done and buried by the time he play that Monday football game in 2 weeks. The Giants, look, they still stink. They're not come on now. The Jaguars on the road.
After beating the Steelers, what do I even say at this point?
Well, should have beaten the Steelers. Should have.
So, yeah, you're right.
Should've.
Dominating the Steelers is what I should say, and then Big Ben willed himself over the end zone. But
maybe that game, maybe that was the game that broke their hearts, and they say, "Fuck it, season over."
Maybe
Tennessee on the road.
Yeah, I think they can win that one.
And then Philly at home. Which again,
so you're telling me if they split Philly, beat the Giants, and beat the Titans,
that's 9 wins, buddy. That's 9 wins. That's a playoff. I mean, and we're saying 8-8 to get you in. They outkicked that Chargers in 1 game.
So what you're trying to tell me is Alex Smith did so good this season for the Skins that he was still able to propel them into the playoffs despite that devastating injury.
Yeah.
And that's a sacrificial lamb for the first round. Moving on.
No. Well, we know, even with Alex Smith, they were going to lose the first round. So that didn't matter. But, yeah, I can find 2 or 3 wins here. I can find 2 wins here enough, which could be interesting there, too. I don't know. It's one of those things. NFC East is definitely a mess, though. Definitely a mess. That being said, Kyle, are we there now on the Bears? Do we believe the Bears? I mean, G.W. Gross, I mean, he's spouting out bullshit on Twitter. Our man, Raphael Haynes, was a controversy, is claiming that I said something about the Bears before the season starts.
His Bears because he's a fan, and that's much the same with G. Celio. Now, granted, Contra's never going to say anything dumb like Mitchell Trubisky's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. The Bears have to be taken seriously for one reason. Defense wins championships, and Matt Nagy's the coach of the year.
Easy. And the fact that he's actually doing this with Trubisky, let's face it, he's average at best. I'm being kind here. Average at best.
Yes, you are.
Is the reason why he's coach of the year.
The only quarterback in the league that I know right now that's more reliant on the run is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. The Bears are dangerous, though. I mean, and look at the rest of the division.
Sure.
They took care of business. Now they got a commanding 2-game lead over Minnesota. Green Bay is trying to figure shit out. Detroit's not going to do anything. Come on. I mean, Chicago has a 2-3 game lead now over the next team. They should be able to win this division.
Can you imagine how much better Detroit could be if they actually find a way to land a Khalil Mack?
Surprised they didn't go after him.
Just saying.
I mean, you got a top 10, 12 quarterback in the league. Yes, I said that.
He's better than Matt Ryan. I know that. What?
Oh, this year? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, listen, my dude, Matt Stafford's been putting up 4,000-yard seasons without Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu.
You in the hot take it to today. Love it.
Hashtag facts, bitch. What?
I'm. Look, the Bears are still going. Look, I think they're a playoff team. I'm almost ready to give them a lock because I think that lead in division now is almost. It's not insurmountable, but given the trust with Minnesota at this point now to make up those games, and now losing a tiebreaker now too on top of that, that's a lot to overcome. You want
hot takes, Ernest Christian? I'll give you a damn hot take. You want a hot take?
Go ahead.
If the Bears make the playoffs, what that proves to me is that the NFC has become the inferior conference. No longer are the days of the AFC being inferior and only the Patriots. No. No longer a thing. The AFC is the better conference. But just on the fact that we're talking about
it is
the
right now.
Being that good.
Other than the top two, I judge the conference by top to bottom, not just top. The SEC is not...
No, of course. And that's what I'm saying, too. Right. And the fact that you go that deep and you have the Bears being what they are, being one of the best teams in the conference, that is your signed, seal, delivered check that the AFC is better.
Minnesota's done in terms of... Look, I'm still confident Minnesota will get in the playoffs.
Oh, of course. But Kirk Cousins is overrated and we have proof. Why are we still talking about this?
Yeah. But their schedules are really hard... But I got it's a little dicey though for the Vikings though. The next 3 weeks, they're gonna see a lot of the Vikings. They play Green Bay at home, which again the Packers are struggling, but Aaron Rodgers. I mean, come on, at some point you can figure out win the game. New England on the road after that. Seattle on the road after that. I mean, you got some toughies coming up next couple weeks. So I don't think they'll make up the games for the division, but at least the wild card, I can still see them getting as a wild card.
I'll agree.
So I think you and I are going to be on the same page here. Is it time for the Ravens to hand the keys off to Lamar Jackson, quarterback?
No, it is not.
Whoa.
No, it is not, Ernest Christian. And you know how I feel about Joe Flacco. But when you run the ball 27 times in a contest, no. Hell no. You ain't ready to take the ball in the damn NFL.
That was more so John Harbaugh just throwing the kitchen sink. I think that number will come down dramatically next week if he starts next week. I think that was one of those games where,
here's the good news. Yeah, exactly. Here's the good news, though. He looks like he's going to play one more game because Flacco still ain't quite right yet. He better show me something if you expect me to believe that he deserves to be handed the keys.
What I will say is this, though, and you know I'm not Flacco guys at all. I've noticed the receivers, when he did throw the ball, receivers play a lot harder for him than for Flacco.
So it's kind of like Baker Mayfield and Tyrod Taylor. Yeah,
kind of, sort of, yeah. That. In a sense where, because a lot of Flacco's balls have so much air on them. Like this, like you look at Joe Flacco on the field, kind of like he's to give a shit. Sort of like, like oh whatever, I'll just toss the ball this way, whatever. With that's kind of the vibe I got from Flacco for years anyway. To be honest with you, it's gotten worse. It's gotten older. I feel like with Lamar Jackson, receivers made better cuts. They responded more. They responded to the quarterback of Lamar Jackson than they did to Joe Flacco, in my opinion.
And that lasted for 3 games in Cleveland, and now we're right back to the same place where Hugh Jackson got wrongfully fired, along with Todd Haley.
Yeah.
Next question.
Right. I don't know. I just think, I don't know. That's Flacco's done, dude. I think we may see the last of Flacco.
Oh, well, yeah. If that's your conversation, this should be his last season as a primary starter. I agree with that.
Yeah, he's not in today's NFL. He's not. What can he bring to the team at this point to another team at this point? No. So, all right.
Right, I agree.
Before we go, and I send you off to Thanksgiving weekend, let's go through our first off our wild card, our playoff picture right now. We do this every week now, going into the ending the year, about which teams are on the which teams are locks for the playoffs currently based on the results this week. As you know, the top seeds in the AFC, I believe right now 1 and 2 is Kansas City and Pittsburgh now. Let me just get it real quick. I had up here a little while ago, and I lost the.
Well, I'll say this while you're looking for it. Any kind of success that Pittsburgh has is going to be short-lived. They're just begging to reveal how undisciplined they are in the playoffs and be eliminated anyway. I'd hate to sound like this guy. You know, I'm a Big Ben guy on the field, regardless of his transgressions of the past off the field. On the field, I like him as a quarterback. I think he's a Hall of Fame player right now. I don't know that he'll get one in the first ballot, but he will definitely have a bust in Canton, and it's,
no doubt.
It's incredibly well deserved.
All right, so currently right now, let's go to AFC first. Your AFC breakdown now, as of today. 1 seed is the Chiefs, obviously. The 2 seed is the Steelers, like I said. The 3 seed is the Patriots. Wow. Playing wildcard weekend right now. The 4 seed is the Texans. Uh-oh, look out. By the way, the weirdest 7-game winning streak in the history of football. The 5th seed, take what you can. The 5th seed is the Chargers. Tough loss against Denver, by the way. And the 6th seed right now currently is the Ravens. The Ravens right now. Currently in the hunt, we have the Bengals, Dolphins, and Colts all at 5-5. Tennessee 5-5. Denver 4-6, and rest of the conference is falling apart. So, right now, your locks. I mean, obviously, we both agree. I would say the Chiefs and Steelers are locks at the end of the playoffs, no matter what.
Yes.
We're still like the Chargers.
Steelers. Yes. Chiefs, Steelers, Patriots, Chargers.
Texans still? Still Texans?
Still Texans. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Texans.
So it's still one spot.
They still take that division.
So just one spot for grabs. That's it. There's one spot for grabs.
And I'm not locking it yet. There's too much going on. I'm not locking it yet. I still think the Colts are going to take it, but I'm not locking it.
Likewise, I do too. I do want to see, though, Lamar Jackson, if this thing continues, where they're winning in spite of him running 20 times a game, that you have to keep him in there. Obviously, they're responding to him pretty well. But I still think the Colts have the better of these teams in the wild card race. The Colts are the only team I feel like is ascending in a big way.
I agree.
So I'm with you. All these are locks. Same locks, and the Colts will get 6 seed. NFC time. Obviously 1 and 2. Currently 1 seed is the Rams, by virtue of the half-game lead over the Saints, but the Saints have a tiebreaker if they're outside. The Saints number 2, and 9-1. Your 3 seed is your Chicago Bears. The 4 seed currently is the Redskins. The 5 seed is the Panthers, who have all of a sudden lost 2 straight games. And the 6 seed is the Vikings. You and I agree.
What a joke.
Say it again?
I said, what a joke.
Tell me about it. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at it. Remember the conversation coming in the year, the AFC, NFC dominant over the AFC, and right now the way it's playing on the NFC is right now. Now, maybe a lot of that has to do with the fact that the NFC is so good that maybe they're all cannibalizing themselves to some degree, but I don't know. So obviously the locks, you and I agree, the locks on the NFC are Saints, Rams, locks, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm there with Chicago now. Lock in to win the division. I'm there.
Locking to win of the division.
Yeah, I'm there.
I mean, at this point, I'm not going to do that. Gosh, but it's going to hurt my soul, but I'm going to lock them to make the playoffs.
The Bears?
Yeah.
Okay, I lock them to win the division. I have to unlock Carolina. I can't lock Carolina anymore. Don't unlock them.
Nope.
Don't unlock them.
Nope. I didn't last week either. I'm just saying.
Right. Minnesota, 5-4-1, tough schedule ahead, but I like their roster better than everybody else's. I still feel like they're a lock to at least get a wild card. So I'll lock in Minnesota still.
Well, we both locked them last week. I feel like I dragged you into locking them.
I'm still there.
So I will be a man and continue to lock them. Yeah.
I think when it's all said and done, better roster to me will still outweigh everything else. Redskins definitely unlocked, obviously. Carolina unlocked. Right now, how do you feel right now in terms of the last 2 wildcard spots? Oh, well, at least right now, looks like the NFC East up for grabs, and the one wildcard at least up for grabs on your end.
So, right, exactly. For me, the wild card, whoever is fighting for that needs to still watch out for Seattle. I feel like they're still a factor.
But wait, in the hunt, Seattle 5-5, Dallas 5-5, Green Bay 4-5-1. I won't write them off this yet because Atlanta is still one of those teams that can catch fire if they wanted to, like they did last year. But they're hang on a thread, 4-6.
Stop it.
They won't get there. I'm just saying.
The team that lost to the Browns. Stop it, Ernest Christian.
By the way, the Giants. By the way, your Giants update. The Giants are a 13 seed.
Yeah. Still a lower draft pick than the Niners. Boom. Listen, I'm still looking out for Seattle, and to be honest, the East isn't locked up yet. To your point, I was ready to hand it to the Eagles until you brought up the Skins schedule, and Colt McCoy, I think, can do enough, to do the job to get him into the division.
So you like Washington win it, but not lock it?
Hell no.
Okay. I'm going to say Dallas, because they're starting to ascend a little bit now as the East champions. I'm going to still say Carolina will still find a way to get in because they do have Cam Newton. A little blip here. They should have beaten Detroit this past week. So I'm unlocking Carolina, but I think when a push comes to shove, they'll get in. And I think Minnesota. I think what you have right now currently will be what it is at the end of the year. No, I'm sorry.
Except for Seattle.
Except for Dallas and Washington swapping on the East. I think Minnesota gets into the wild card. Right. Chicago wins the division, and Carolina gets in still. But I will unlock Carolina.
So you're selling out on Rusty there, are you?
It's not necessarily selling out on Rusty. It's just every time you start to buy in, they lose a game you shouldn't lose. No, I don't know, man. I'm not there yet. Carolina,
because you do realize if they make the playoffs, as a team I had faith in and you didn't,
mm-hmm.
that I'm going to have to make fun of you. I'll have no choice.
You can do that now if you wanted to. It's okay. You need permission to do that anyway. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, you need permission to do that. Like, make fun of me. Like that's like a typical weekly session we do here now.
That's right. The humility therapy.
I will say
Dr. Kyle Nash.
I will say this though: if they do get in, the team that gets knocked out is Carolina. And I think if that happens, you have to really look at Ron Rivera in his future also. Although he's got an
ahead of Dallas.
No. Dallas wins the division. No, I have Dallas win the division already.
Oh, okay. So ahead of the Skins. All right. All right.
All right, and there it is. Anything else? UCF. Where were they last week on the playoff rankings? 8, 9?
Well, silly Ernest Christian.
No, I don't remember.
No, they're 8 in the AP poll currently,
right? And
they were, I believe, 11th in the college football playoff committee rankings.
Okay.
Whenever they're done trying to tell me that Washington State is worth my time, because they're not, I'll take them seriously. Okay? Whenever they're done trying to tell me that Syracuse is something I should take seriously, oh, wait, Notre Dame helped me with that this past weekend. Thank you very much. I don't understand why I'm still looking at Washington State as somebody who's put ahead of UCF, or Oklahoma, for that matter. Listen, I get it. They played some ranked teams.
Oklahoma has better chance. Okay. Wait. You knock Oklahoma? Hold on a second. Oklahoma has better chance getting to the playoff than anybody else does outside of those 4 teams on top. What are you talking about?
And that's the biggest bunch of bullshit on the planet. Hey, by the way, let me ask you this question real quick, Ernest Christian. A team that's in the college football playoff, should they be within 5 points of Texas Tech? No, they shouldn't. Should they be somebody who goes into overtime against Army? No, they shouldn't. And all this stuff that I have to listen to as somebody who's on the UCF beat here about, only beating Memphis by 1 and all this stuff, cool. It's all legitimate criticism. But then it's not applied to Oklahoma, and they're, to use your quote, the team most likely to get into the playoff that's not currently in the playoff. That's a bunch of bullshit. I hate the Big 12 because I hate teams that don't play defense, period.
No, I agree. Big 12 it's shitty. I'm not gonna lie. I will say I would be intrigued. I would be intrigued by Alabama-Oklahoma matchup. I will say that as a fan. That's all.
Now that being said, I'll give props to the writers out there, and I'm saying it as I'm even in Tiger country here. LSU being ranked below the Knights. Never thought I'd see that happen.
Wow. Really? Wow. Well, they have 3 losses now? Yeah. 2 losses.
I think it's two. Right.
Alabama.
So,
lost to
they put a two
Florida.
a 2-loss Washington State team ahead of the team last year. So, this is what they do, Ernest Christian.
I don't know. I will say as much. We're going to know a lot more this weekend because you got some big games this weekend. I would say Alabama, Auburn. Which, by the way, Bama's going to win that game. We know that for a fact. But Michigan and Ohio State. That's going to be the one. And I'm praying to God Michigan wins this game, but I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it.
Huge.
Because every time you write up Ohio State, they figure out a way to take care of business. Say what's wrong with
but I'll tell you what, if that happens, all that is assured is that neither of those two teams will get in the playoff.
You don't think Ohio State could jump into the mix with that win plus a Big Ten championship?
Not with the way that the committee is filleting Oklahoma and Notre Dame being undefeated.
Well, okay, let's do some futuristics here real quick. Assuming Bama wins, they're a lock. Bama wins, they beat Georgia, they're a lock. They're in number one. Okay. Clemson has to win
even
out.
if Bama loses, they'll go to their conference and championship, win that, and still be in. Who cares?
You don't think Clemson loses between now and the ACC title game, or even the ACC title game, they get knocked out? I think they get knocked out automatically.
No. Well, you asked two different questions there.
Yeah,
will Clemson lose? No, they won't.
No.
Because their conference is so bad. But if they lose their conference championship, they're done.
Yeah, I agree. So they win, they're in. That's a lock spot there for them. Notre Dame at this point is a lock so much as long as they win out because they take care of business. So there's one spot open. Okay, so if Michigan is number 4 currently and they lose, okay, Oklahoma gets that spot there if they beat West Virginia?
I'm not saying they deserve it. I'm saying that's what's going to happen.
Okay, now what if Oklahoma loses though against West Virginia, which could happen? Then we got a clusterfuck because you have West Virginia, 1 loss. Oklahoma be out because they'll have 2 losses. They'll be out. Michigan be out. They'll have 2 losses. So now you're considering West Virginia. You're considering Ohio State now. We can consider now because they beat Michigan in the Big Ten championship also too.
A two-loss Ohio State team.
Well, that 1 loss.
No way.
No, that 1 loss. That's it. One loss.
They have a loss. Well, they have 1 loss right now. Oh, okay. Well, that's true. But would they be playing in the conference championship? Is the question. I don't. Maybe they would be.
Yeah, they would be. Yeah, they would because they'll be beating Michigan. Yeah.
So okay, maybe I'm okay. I'm off then. This game is even more huge than I thought.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's huge, but no one's talking about Oklahoma and West Virginia though. That's a humongous game. Because
because West Virginia is a bunch of pansies, and if Oklahoma loses that,
but if they win, they will get our consideration for that too. Though, don't forget,
they better not, because West Virginia is the biggest joke in the nation. They're even a bigger joke than Oklahoma. Also, ironically, both teams are in the Big 12, so there's that. But yeah.
So who will get the first? Who Ohio State will get the first spot?
Well, yeah. If it goes the way you talk about, and all those teams stumble just so, yeah, in that instant, Ohio State would get the spot.
I feel like the committee this year is going to look at really considering Big 12 schools this year. I mean, it's no secret that Ohio State is ranked low. What are number 10 right now currently? Or number 9?
Yeah, that's 10. I believe it was 10.
Yeah, they got
on the most recent CFP.
How much is worth beating Michigan? How much spots is that worth to Ohio State? It's a question. I mean, is that worth 6 spots? Is that worth 5 spots? 2 spots? I don't know.
I sure don't. Or then show it on undefeated teams. That much I could tell you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out soon. It's going to be a fun weekend. I'll say that much. It's going to be a really fun weekend of college football. Cannot wait. Anything else you want to plug before we go?
Yeah, man. Listen, of course, I'm still doing the thing covering the UCF Knights for Blue HQ Media's Sports Media Pass. This weekend got the huge rivalry game, UCF versus USF. UCF's already clinched the AAC championship.
What's the AAC?
Orlando,
what is the AAC? What is the AAC? What is that?
That's the American Athletic
I'm joking. Come on, man. I'm being a dick.
Well, I don't know about you. You tried to talk trash about UCF earlier in the season, and now everyone in the nation knows who they are because the way they clobbered the Cincinnati Bearcats, who had a 1,000-yard rusher and a defensive front that had 66 tackles for a loss going into that game. But what do I know?
Such a dude, I swear. It's such a dude.
You can't handle the truth. I'm not a dude. I'm a colonel. I'm Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, bitch. You can't handle the truth.
You in the fight. You're 7'5". You're 7'5", so I'm not trying to fuck with you.
Anyway.
I am not trying to fuck with you right now, bro.
I wonder,
you smash me.
How much cost would it take to have a military uniform for a dude that's 7'5"?
I don't know.
Anyways. I'm too old for that. I ain't trying to do that. Anyways.
Too old for this shit, Murtaugh. Go ahead.
What's that?
Too old. He pulled a Murtaugh. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, I totally just did. I did pull the Murtaugh rule. That's
Love
right.
the Murtaugh rule. Love the Murtaugh rule, man.
I don't love it, but I'm able to use it. I'm just saying.
When necessary.
No, so I'll be back in the swing for the Dolphins as well, as they're coming off a bye, and they'll be facing our MVP candidate, Andrew Luck, and the Colts this weekend. So the Dolphins dive will drop on Friday on the Dolphins Wire of USA Today. And, of course, you'll see some observations from the game, not this week, but moving forward, because I, in fact, will be on a plane. Then, of course, speaking of planes, Trains, and Automobiles coming out soon, because it's probably one of the few Thanksgiving movies that you actually know of.
Love it.
On Default Assault, so check that out. That episode's going to be a good time.
When is that dropping?
That'll be this week.
Okay. Looking forward to that. Seeing that one. I love that movie.
I like that movie a lot, too. We of course, had Demosthenes Euclid and Big TJ Tokyo Jameson in the house for that, too. Good times all the way around, man.
Yeah, man. Great job. As always, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And I'm glad we were able to get it in this week. I mean, I was considering going dark for the entire week, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
Well,
we got some more Kyle.
I'm glad I brought you to the light. Stay off the weed, but until next time, class dismissed.